Hello everyone, this is Drew from Best of Us Investors working with Mark on the Platinum Trading platform. So again, Mark has been investing for over 40 years now and has worked as the director of operation for an online firm for around 10 years. He'll be doing overviews on what he saw in the market and charts from the previous week regarding swing trades. And also if he has some stocks that he's keeping an eye on for the upcoming week, he will share that as well. Now for watch lists of several stocks that are set up for great swing trades with uptrend potentials based on more than 7 indicators every day, along with educational videos on how to read charts, come join our Platinum group and let's get through this tough market together, seeking for great swing trade opportunities and even for great potential entry points for long-term investments as well. Make sure you check the link in the description below for the Platinum membership. And I just wanted to remind you that this video is not made for financial advice, but for educational purposes only. So Mark, how was the market last week regarding our swing trade?
Okay, so this is what's happened this week in the S&P. You can see here's today. This is Friday. The market's still open. This is the long-term bearish trend line right here, and we had 3 days of trying to cross it. Yesterday we closed above it, and today we're still above that. And this line, along with the 200-day simple moving average, which we crossed last week, are significant in that trending from a bearish look to a bullish look. And you can see we came down. We went sideways and now we're up and trending upward. So the market is trending upward in the SPX. Our next line in the sand is our high that we had in December around 4,100 right here. And you can see we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. The significance of this, when you look at it from a long-term point of view, you can see that here's our 200-day simple moving average. Here's our long-term bearish trend line. You can see we started below the 200-day simple moving average. We popped up several times, but it's really been since right around this point in here, which is April, that we've been able to stay above the 200-day for any period of time. You can see we're above it now. And you can see it's been since January of 2022 that we've actually gone above this long-term trend line, this long-term bearish trend line. So that's pretty significant in the market. You can see on the NASDAQ chart, again, here's our long-term bearish trend line. Here's our 200-day simple moving average. When it's below, we consider that a bearish. When it's above, we consider it bullish. And the last time it really got to touch above just a little bit was back here in April again. And we started basically back in January on this long-term bearish trend line. You can see we crossed over that at this point. And now for the first time, we'll close in on this a little bit. In a long time. Yesterday, we closed above the 200-day simple moving average. And today, you can see our candlestick. Now, the market's not closed. This would be a full candle close above the 200. That would be significant also. You can see this trend line held for 3 days, and then we broke through. Same thing on the Dow Jones. You can see on the Dow Jones, we've been above the 200-day simple moving average for quite some time. You can see we crossed right about here. That was back in October. So that's what's significant. Now, the interesting thing for me is the news that's coming out isn't all that great from what I can tell from an economy. And that just shows that the economy is not the stock market. So they're disconnected. And so why this continues to go up and then we hear news, I think it has to do a little bit with hopium. I think it has to do with recency bias, which is a lot of traders that got in during the pandemic. All you had to do is buy the dip and it goes up. But the charts aren't lying that we are in an upward trending pattern at this point, but how long will it last? I don't know. Will it hit different resistance lines? Of course. Is it going to go down? Of course it's going to go down. Are we reversing this trend down that we've been in and now starting a new kind of bull market up? I don't know. The news and the charts are kind of remind me of The Big Short when Michael Burry shorted, all of the housing market. And even though the news was bad and everything was bad, his short never came around and they couldn't understand why. And that's kind of where a lot of people are right now is, okay, it's great, the market's going up, but does it really correlate with what's going on in today's economic situation? And so it's kind of a strange market, but again, the trend's your friend, and right now the trend is going up and it's looking good compared to where it has been. So on the Platinum channel, we track kind of when we put positions on our watch list. And for the month of January, you can see we had about 15 positions this month. And out of those 15, we had 4 that we got out of at negative values or no gains. Or you can see here, the beautiful thing about swing trading is we put stops in and we limit our losses and we try to maximize our gains. So the maximum loss that we had was Occidental Petroleum at about 2.75%. But you can see that our gains 5.2%, 7.03%, 3.35%, 3.63%, 6.13% outlast our losses. And so at this point, with nothing in the portfolio, which is our paper trade portfolio for the month of January, had you traded 100 shares in each of these at this point when it went on the watch list and got out based on our indicators, you'd be up about $3,300 this month during a very volatile kind of January. So that's how we track it. And if you want to be a part of it, it's in the Platinum channel on Best of Us Investors. So here's one of our trades, and it's Visa. And you can see we're trading above the 200-day simple moving average. Here is the support line. Here's our 9-day simple moving average. We got in about 209 and some change, which is right about in this level. We were over the 9. We're seeing a good upward swing of the stochastic. We're seeing a crossover of the MACD. We're seeing a good strong RSI. And we rode it all the way up. And you can see this is a resistance line that my program puts in. And for 3 days, we got above it, but we weren't getting past it. And at this point, which was the 17th of January, we just hit a limit and got out because we didn't want to do what happened the next day where it dropped down and then we came back up. So we took our profit there. It came back a little, and now Visa today, they had their earnings yesterday and they're above this resistance line. But we'll take our profits because we're not trying to find the lows. We're hit the lows or hit the highs. We're trying to take the middle part, and that's what we did in Visa. It became a pretty good trade for us. So here we are in Copart. You see we got in right at this point right here above the 9-day simple moving average. This was running in an upward trend. You can see the up and lower lines. We were hitting the bottom, hitting the top. We rode this up for probably about 15 days. We had a stop up here on this long-term trend line, upper trend line, and it hit at that point. You can see where it closed down towards the middle of the section. And then the next day it closed actually below the lower trend line. So that showed how the indicators helped us to get not only in a trade, but get out of a trade.
Well, thanks for sharing these trades, Mark. I also think that it's much more important to know when to sell a trade based on the indicators compared to when to buy into a stock. So again, I learned so much from this discussion and hope our subscribers also enjoyed this episode. Now, for more details and updates regarding swing trades and chart analysis every day, make sure you join our Platinum group and let's successfully invest and make it through this tough market together. Thank you very much and see you all next week.